Hello everybody, this is Crochet Parade, hosted on CrochetPARADE.org. Today I want to show you an improved workflow based on a few new updates that I made to Crochet Parade. Let's start with Planet Earth, the demonstration that I included here. You can see here, again, Planet Earth rendered on a sphere. And again, the instructions are on the left. And you can see the stitch information here in the label. And also you can see that New Zealand is seems to be absent. So let's say you want to add it. Okay, let's say you want to add New Zealand right there. You can try to figure out where the stitch is. So it's on the 47th line, the 19th single crochet. So let's find the 47th line. Okay, 19th single crochets are right here in this segment of the code, but we have no idea which single crochet it is that we need to color in green in order to render New Zealand. Not to mention that instruction is run twice. So I added a new option under the Tools menu, which allows you to expand the instructions. You need to select this option to run the dialog twice. It will index all the stitches and allow you to go from the rendering to the text, and also it will overwrite your instructions. So be careful with that. Make sure you save your work. So that's why I put in this question here. Let's run it. And as you can see, there are no more stitch labels that stitches that have been multiplied by a number. So everything is expanded. So now when you go on the right and you click on a stitch, we'll be able to go from the 3D diagram to the code, to the editor. I'm pressing Control and clicking, and right now the stitch has been highlighted on the left. Let's find it. It's the 47th row, so there it is. It's highlighted in green, and as you can see, this is stitch 47, 31, 3950. So right before that, I'm gonna add color green, and right after that, excuse me, the code is a little bit sluggish because there are a lot of stitches, and the highlighter of Crochet Parade is not very fast. So if you have ideas how to improve this, then please be my guest and contribute to the code. So we're switching to green, we're switching to blue, and let's see the result. Okay, turning Planet Earth, and voila, here it is. We have the green pixel there indicating New Zealand. And of course you can add more. Now if you hover on the stitches on the left, you can see they're enumerated, but the code is so long. Let's see. It would be nice if we can simplify it. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say, if you click on the text, you can also find a stitch in the 3D rendering, and we'll talk about it in a minute. So let's simplify the instructions. There are a few options here. We're just going to do simple simplification. Careful, this will overwrite your code, and make sure you save whatever is in the text field there. This is experimental plugin, so it can actually destroy your instructions in the sense that it can break your instructions and produce wrong code. So here it is, all the single crochets have been combined into one, and as you can see, the code is much shorter. There are a lot of color switches, so you can't make it shorter than this, honestly. So there you go. I want to demonstrate another example here of using the simplify and expand instructions. So I'm going to start with the baby bootie. Here it is, expand instructions, and this is what I'm going to do. First of all, check it out. I can press the Control button and click on the left, and I can highlight different stitches on the right by clicking in the editor. If I press on Control and Alt at the same time, the two keys on the keyboard, and click on with the mouse, I can select multiple different stitches here. And I can do exactly the same the other way around. I can click on the 3D-dimensional rendering. Pressing Control will select single stitches. Control and Alt will select multiple stitches. So now let me try to find them. They're somewhere down here. There they are. So again, these are highlighted in green. The other ones are highlighted in yellow. This can allow for, better orientation. To clear it, press Alt and click. If you click on the text, you remove all the yellow stitches. If you click on the 3D rendering, you remove all the green stitches. So what I want to do is I want to make some kind of a handle so I can hang this bootie. So I'm starting here. I'm going to extend the single chain that's at the top of this turn. So this bootie, the cuff was done in rows, so here it is. I'm doing 8 single crochets one way, 8 single crochets back, and then single crochet in the back loop in the last single crochet in the back loop of this line here, so which is 3 rows above. That's why the -3. And this is 9 stitches from the end, so I need to do a -3, -9 to put in the coordinates. Let's see, -9, and let's see what we get. There you go, we have our handle. So an easy peasy way to find where we are in the code and modify it, our project the way we want. And as you can see, it worked pretty easily as opposed to what we had to do before. And again, we can just play around, try to see how see how you can use this functionality for your own project. Of course, you can add stitches. The code is trying to preserve the highlighting and the numbering. You can see on the tooltip, you see these numbers. As you're adding stitches and deleting stitches, the numbering may get wrong. Okay, so beware of that. Okay, so here's the next example. We're starting with this axial asymmetric shape, which looks like a little bit like a pear. I'm going to expand the instructions. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to change the shape a little bit by adding some kind of a protrusion somewhere. Let's say you want to create an amigurumi pattern. Of course, you can do coloring here the same way we did for Planet Earth, but right here I want to add some kind of a protrusion, so a bunch of increases, and then to match the row numbers, the stitch numbers in the rounds, I need to add more stitches and then decreases. So here it is. I'm increasing, a double increase here, another double increase, another double increase. And now again, in order to fix my stitch numbers, oh, by the way, let's check. Yep, this is yellow, this is the right stitch. Here I need to do 2 stitches. Again, I need more stitches on the next round to work them in the extra stitches in the previous round, and then I am gonna bring stitches together. This is a decrease, and here it is. We have the protrusion here on the right. You can see the bulge. It's right here. Okay, and there's the bulge. So I can expand the 2 single crochets. Here they are in parentheses, and now they're enumerated. Before they weren't. Okay, so there they are. These are the 2 single crochets here, the extra increase. And let's simplify the instructions. Ta-da! I'm gonna run the code to make sure that I get the same thing. Yep, and here you are. So this is one of the 21 single crochet stitches, and here this single crochet 2 together, this is the decrease, is somewhere on the 16th line. Yep, there you are. These are the 2 single crochets 2 together, so the 2 decreases, well, 4 decreases that I made for this project. Alright, next demonstration. we have this flower here. I want to talk about counters. Indexing here is done by a counter which is initialized as 0. So here the chain spaces are enumerated. I've talked about this in a previous video. You can see them in yellow. There are, I think, 8 of these, right? 8 chain spaces. So the C++, what it does is it increases the counter. Now, if you, the count number. So this option here allows you to replace the counter with a number. So let's see, if you don't check it, then we just have C++ here, C++ in the next chain space, C++ in the next chain space, which again the code evaluates internally as numbers and going around. And you can simplify these instructions, and let's see how they're combined again. Here they are. We have still the C++. Here we have 7 repeats. Before it was 8. The reason is the last repeat was truncated prematurely. It ended, all the rest ended with a single crochet. The last one ended with a slip stitch. Let me compare with the original. Here it is. That sign there are 8 repetitions. That sign of greater than says repeat the last iteration. Stop it right there. The last repeat stops there after the skip. So the simplify instructions button cannot handle those. It's pretty simplistic. Anyway, let's evaluate the indices now. And here you can see chain space 0, chain space 0, 1. Now they are evaluated numerically. 0, 2, 0, 3, and so on. Now if you try to simplify the instructions, you run into trouble because these numbers are obviously different. So our simplifier cannot combine them into 7 repetitions of the same instruction. However, we can attempt to simplify that numerical indexing by creating index counters. They're use standard notation here, variable A, variable B, and so on. So var A, var B, and so on. Let's try that. Oh, there you go. Those are initialized at 0, so we have 0, 0. That's our first chain space. Then it's 0, 1. Down 7 times, and then we have the var D. Okay, so here it is. The code was able to simplify it. Let's simplify it again. You can expand before the simplification. That usually allows for better results, as you'll see. Okay, so again, play around, see how it goes. Let's do one more thing here. We can evaluate the labels, run it twice so that we have the IDs of the stitches so that they show up when we hover over them. So this is stitch 3, 6. Okay, and if you control click, here it is in yellow. Okay, this is one of those chain spaces. So what I'm going to do next, oh, let me show you. Oops, I pressed something wrong. If you press C, you see the colors. Oops, this is a tiny bug, I guess. Let me just fix this blue. Here it is. I pressed escape and then C again just to reset the colors. Yellow, yellow. Alright, now imagine I wanted to add more chains here. Okay, so in these 7 chains, in the 0, 0 chain space, I want to add it. And by the way, here you can see more context. So this is the original code. It tells you C++, the chain space with C++, and the chain space with the 0 evaluated. Anyway, so here are 5 chain spaces. So I just enlarged the petal. I want to simplify it. Now I'm going to run the code without this option, and you can see here we have 3 chain spaces, 5 and then 3 again. The code wasn't very smart in simplifying it, so we're going to expand before simplification this time. And 353 now is combined into 11. Okay, so let me show you the next example now. It's the granny square. This has nothing to do with what we were showing you earlier. This is another update. This time we can export crochet diagrams in color. Let me show you the original. We get black and white crochet diagrams. And if we do the same in color, it looks like this. There they are. And the colors, how are they picked? Well, they're picked from your project, the way you selected your colors. And you can change the resolution. This makes the lines thicker. You get a scalable vector graphics anyway, but it can make the symbols more readable. So let me show the colors here in the 3D rendering. And as you can see, they match. Okay, well, that's it from me. Take care, everybody, and happy crocheting.